We have the latest on the shocking college admission scam that we've been following. Full House star Loughlin is now out of federal custody on a $1 million bond. She was indicted along with dozens of others for allegedly paying large sums of money to guarantee their children spots at elite schools. Meantime, we're also learning that Loughlin's daughter, Olivia Jade, there she is, who is facing expulsion from USC, was on spring break in the Bahamas when the story broke. She was reportedly on this yacht owned by the chairman of the USC's Board of Trustees. That's according to TMZ. Olivia has decided to head back home following the news of her parents' arrest. Another one of the parents indicted in this admission scheme was marketing executive Jane Buckingham, and her son is speaking out right now to The Hollywood Reporter saying, "I am upset that I was unknowingly involved in a large scheme that helps give kids who may not work as hard as others an advantage over those who truly deserve those spots. For that, I am sorry. While the situation I am going through is not a pleasant one, I take comfort in the fact that this might help finally cut down on money and wealth being such a heavy factor in college admissions." I give kudos to Jack Buckingham. I mean, he's essentially going against his mother by writing that letter. I feel for these kids here. I mean, their parents robbed them of hustle and life lessons and perseverance and gifted them humiliation.
Yeah, you know, it's like such a tangled web that it's really hard to get to like the root of the problem. Ultimately, I think that anytime you don't allow your child to fend for themselves, compete for themselves, you are debilitating them in a way that I can't even describe. Like everyone else is out there getting their teeth sharpened, and they get thrown out into this ocean with completely dull teeth. That is not okay.
It's a great analogy. It's a sad one, though.
And you said it best when you said life lesson. When I was a junior in high school, I was getting letters from big universities to go play football there. I did not have a good senior year because I thought I was better than I was. It taught me a life lesson that I was not going to a Division I school. I had to do what I could to still play football at a Division III level. That taught me a life lesson. Had my parents bought my way into a big university, what kind of lesson would that have taught me for the rest of my life? I love playing football at Division III level because it taught me a life lesson to be hungry and go after what I want.
Yeah, and taking the spot of someone else. Remember Amy Van Dyken? Of course, we all know her. She came on our show, Olympic gold medalist. She wrote me today and said, "Sam, I succeeded in college." She was on the bubble of getting a spot on her college team. If she would not have gotten that spot, we would have never had the Amy Van Dyken that we know today that won all those gold medals.
Yeah, it's like what I said yesterday. We'll never know all the people that should have been sitting in those seats that didn't.
Scholastically.
Yep. You know, and I thought, Erica, just to piggyback on what you said, you were talking about sharpening your teeth and having that drive. I remember talking to Bill Bellamy. I toured with him for 2 years. He's one of my good friends, and he said his father was a janitor at the high school that he was at, and he would help him from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. at the high school he worked at. So he would clean the high school he worked at, and he said his senior year he told his dad, "I'm going to come back here and I'll be rich." Wow. And he did.
Hustle.
And that's hustle, and it's from mopping floors every day at the high school you work at. So that drive was robbed from them. You're exactly right.
Absolutely. And earlier today, I spoke with a friend of our show, Dr. Drew Pinsky, to get his opinion on the parents and kids caught up in this scandal. And here's his DBL take. Dr. Drew, thank you so much for joining us here at DBL. Now, we got to get your take. What were the parents thinking?
Well, I mean, what were they thinking? I'm certainly they're wondering the same thing themselves now. But I look at this whole thing, and I'm more concerned with the root cause than I am with the outrage that we all feel at what actually went down here. I mean, something is dreadfully wrong. Something is dreadfully wrong in our parenting, and something is dreadfully wrong with our institutions of higher learning. And both are equally culpable here. As I look at this, I just look at the parents. All roads lead to narcissism as far as I'm concerned. So the kids are extensions of the parent. The kids, their achievements are co-opted by the parents, and the failures are things that the parents must rescue them from in all cause.
Wow.
And that is the worst kind of parenting. So that's sort of the root cause issue on the parenting side. On the institution side, they are rapacious, they are hubristic, and they are money hungry. All the while looking at other people and judging how they operate in a capitalist system. No institutions in our society are more rapacious than our institutions of higher learning right now.
Yeah, a dangerous concoction, and the narcissism and an extension of themselves. I did not even think about that. What about the kids? How is this going to impact them now?
You know, the kids probably feel a deep sense of shame. I feel bad for the kids.
Me too.
I feel bad for the kids all the way along here, because when your parents are carrying out these unconscionable acts, you aren't really a part of it. You're not really thinking about it. I mean, I suppose if a child sat back and went, hey, wait a minute, I'm getting more time for my ACT test and my peers didn't, maybe I shouldn't do this, or maybe I had to bring it up. You don't tend to do that when you're 17 years of age. You're a part of the system with your parents. And when it's a narcissistic system, it's that much harder to separate yourself out to see what's going on. So I feel terrible for these kids. Now, just more evidence of how broken the admission system is. I promise you, I bet that all these kids that got in by nefarious means are probably performing at a very high level at these institutions. It's not like they don't belong there. I think you're going to find that they shouldn't be there, but they don't. It's not like they don't belong there. And again, signs that there's something wrong with the admissions process, which is what makes the parents so desperate. Then you add in the narcissism, and then you have a scandal.
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you for your take again, and have a great day, Drew.
All right, Sam. See you.
No surprise that Dr. Drew hit it right on the head. There is a reel circulating with William Singer, who was trying to get a reality show a few years ago.
We saw it.
And he says his phone would always ring on a Sunday after all the dinner parties where parents would be talking about what their children were doing and what school they were going to. So it's all about this keeping up with the Joneses mentality.
Yes, yes. Oh, it's disgusting.